Right, am I live? Yes, I am live. And I'm live after a good weekend of football. I did talk about it briefly in my match reaction, but um, it's been a very, very good footballing weekend. Let me get this shared out onto my Twitter now. Um, those of you seeing this on playback, seeing this on live, like, sub, share, do whatever you have to do to help the channel grow. And like I said, we're looking to go from strength to strength, go from milestone to milestone, and hoping to build this community. And yeah, so far on the channel since I built it, it's looking all right. But of course, we can do a lot better. Now let me make sure I've actually got this shared onto my platforms. At the moment, 'cause I've still got my Twitter. My Twitter is set up for now, but I'm still waiting to get my Instagram account set up. I don't want that tied to my personal one. Um, but anyway, less of that. We are here to talk about Premier League football and how it has gone our way this weekend, pretty much fully. Man City lost, Liverpool lost again, Chelsea lost at home to Sunderland. But we are going to dive into those. But we are going to talk a little bit just on the Arsenal front, because we have got Brighton at home this week, I believe, and although we did not play great, although we are top of the league in the Premier League, we have to focus on these cups. I do not want to be seeing us throwing these cups in the bin. I doubt a press conference is out yet. I'm assuming that will be out tomorrow, so I'll make sure to look out for that anyway. But obviously, we did beat Crystal Palace. I did my match reaction on that, and I did state clearly we were not that great in that game. However, we did get the win. Am I happy with the win? 100%. Palace to us is a bogey team in recent years, and I think we drew that fixture last season 2-2 when Mateta got that goal where David Rice started fucking about outside of his goal. So we did get the win. It wasn't pretty at all, but we got the 3 points. Am I concerned in some parts? Absolutely. The way we played in that first 30 minutes, that was probably worst bit of football we've seen probably all season. And I said that was the worst football we played all season. Probably that and Bilbao. But I said on my match reaction as well, you can get away with playing like that against Bilbao because we're away from home in the Champions League, and they've not got that much quality up front. Whereas Crystal Palace, they did have quality. They got the likes of Mateta, and that obviously they lost Eze in the summer. Ironically, goes to score a goal. But yeah, we can't keep getting away with playing the way we have been playing. But like I said, I'm happy, and we are also capitalising on other teams dropping points as well. I think the same. We saw Liverpool lose 3-2 to Brentford, and that is another loss for Arne Slot. And we also saw Man City lose to Aston Villa, and that's, to be fair, that's been a bogey round for Man City quite a lot recently. I think they lost their 2-1 last season. I think they lost 1-0 there. If I'm not being mistaken. What the fuck is that showing up? Okay, right, we don't know what that was. But yeah, like I said, we did capitalise on our rivals dropping ground, and let's have a look at the league table in a minute. Where is it? So we're 4 points clear at the top, but obviously Bournemouth are in second, and let's just be real, Bournemouth aren't going to be any threat to us. Let's be honest. They are a good team, but not in this case. We're 6 points clear of Manchester City, and we are 7 points clear of Liverpool. Man City currently sit fifth. Liverpool currently sits seventh, below Manchester United, below Sunderland, and below Bournemouth. I want you guys to let me know as well, those of you who are not watching this on playback as well. Are Liverpool in a crisis? I think that's the obvious answer, yes. And I think the more intriguing question is how are they going to get out of this? Because Arne Slot has dropped Verts in games. Obviously, Isak's been injured. He dropped Ekazike for, in my opinion, no reason. I get you've got Alexander Isak, but number one, he's not been fit. He's played hardly any. Well, he didn't play any preseason at all because he weren't even at Newcastle for training. But then you go and throw him in against Manchester United, did nothing apart from miss an absolute gilt-edged chance. He should have buried that. And cold, honestly. Yeah, he's done nothing apart. He's done nothing at all in a Liverpool shirt apart from the goal against Southampton. I think it was in the Carabao Cup. So yeah, it's crazy to me some of his decision making. Even still playing Mo Salah as well. He's been way off it this season. And to be fair, I am not even surprised because I'm not even being surprised because this is Mo Salah. The thing is with Mohamed Salah, he goes games without getting he can go a game without doing anything, and then he'll mask his performance by getting a goal or getting an assist. That Salah is not happening this season at all, and you can tell he looks off it. And people were saying, "Oh yeah, his legs are gone." Let's be real, his legs have been gone. He was masking his performances up with GA last season, and to be fair, you know what? That's one thing I respect about Mo Salah. His goals, the amount of goals that he scores and that he has scored for Liverpool, you cannot discredit him. I discredit him on the grounds that he is not a good footballer, and people compare it to the likes of Eden Hazard, Alexis, and plenty more Premier League greats. He is nowhere near on that level, and we're seeing Salah for who he really is now. Let's just be real. And I get a lot of people saying that, oh, he's still mourning over Diogo Jota, and that's completely understandable. You have no idea what that has done to him personally, because let's be real, I'm sure most of us who watched the video, they've lost someone, whether it's been a close relative, a friend, and that can fuck you up big time. And I even remember when when they won the game against Bournemouth, first game of the season, you could tell he was still upset and he was still mourning over Diogo. But then, same time, a lot of people were using that to sort of give us a reason why he's not been performing. And like I said, completely understandable. However, the reason why he's not performing is because he's not that good. Let's be real. I never watched Thierry Henry, but I can guarantee you right now, Thierry Henry, the fact he's even being compared to Mo Salah is probably an absolute disgrace. And you can even ask people in a generation above me, even they would think that is an absolute joke comparing him to Thierry Henry. But like I said, it's not just him that has been underperforming. Florian Wirtz, again, nothing. Cody Gakpo, again, done nothing. And there's too many players that have not been performing for Liverpool. And you can even see the way they just get bypassed in the midfield. We criticised Eric Ten Hag for the way that he was getting bodied in his second season. And I remember when Ten Hag first came in, he tried to implement his new system. It never went to plan. He reverted back to type similar to what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer played, counter-attacking football. That worked for a season. They won the Carabao Cup. Fair play to them. And in the season after, he tried to implement his own system, and look what happened. They were getting bypassed game after game in that midfield, and they had no answers for it. And you can see Arne Slot is having that same situation now. Will Liverpool needs to go back to type? Maybe. Do I think they will? I don't know, because if I'm being completely honest, the games that they were winning at the start of the season, you could see there were signs in that team that were not right. And I'm struggling to see whether Slot will, after spending all that money on his own players and going away from what was working last season. Because let's be real, what he done last season worked. He never changed a lot from what Jurgen Klopp done. He did implement a bit of his style of play in terms of them being more controlled. However, you could tell even just by watching Liverpool, there were still elements of what they were like under Jurgen. And he's now gone away from that into his own style of play. Number one, don't even know what his own style of play is because they look absolutely dog shit majority of the time. They can't defend. They can't, they're sort of their rest defense when they lose the ball is pretty much non-existent. Liverpool are so easy to play against this season, and this, you know what, on the Arsenal note, this winds me up even more because the fact that we never went to Anfield and actually gave them a go pisses me off even more because we would have won that game if we'd actually went for it. And it's all good. It's all good. Using retrospective now, using hindsight now. Would we have won that game if we went for it? Who knows? But we would have had a better chance. But I guess we are 7 points clear of them now, and it's been a 12-point swing because it was only a few weeks ago that we were 5 points behind them. And then they went to the losing streak, and now we're 7 points clear. I know it's early in the season, but that is how quick football could turn on its head. So 1 minute they were here, we were here. We were saying, I think after we drew to Man City, title was done. We haven't got the minerals for it. And do I think we had the minerals of winning the title? No. But it's gone from Liverpool being here and we here straight away. Now it's like that. Now, will it stay like that in terms of Liverpool being down there? I do not see how it's getting better. I do think it can get better, but I've been saying that for the past few games, and don't get it twisted. They have the quality to be doing better things, and whether I think they will do it, I don't know. Because let's be real, their best players this season have been Ekatike, Dominic Szoboszlai, Gravenberch until you got injured, and then there was one more who I was thinking of. I can't remember, but there was one more. To be fair, even Curtis Jones played all right the weekend. But yeah, Salah's been dog shit. McAllister's been dog shit. Isak's not going at all. Florian Wirtz, yeah, whatever, mate. Kirkes has been rubbish. Frimpong is crap. I said this when he signed. I'm not seeing how he will replace Trent as in creativity because this guy is an athlete. He's a pace merchant. There is nothing to his game that resembles Trent in any way, shape, or form where Liverpool aren't going to miss Trent. And to be fair, you are seeing at times his creativity being missed, the way he links up with Mo Salah at times. However, the fact they brought in so much more quality, they should be doing a lot better than they actually are. But yeah, that's it from Liverpool, really. Let's see who they got next because I've got no idea who they have. They've obviously got a League Cup game midweek. They have Crystal Palace at home in the Carabao Cup on Wednesday. Oh my god! Okay, wow. So they got Palace at home, Aston Villa at home, Real Madrid at home, Man City away, Nottingham Forest at home, and then it gets a bit easier after that. But still, that fixture list is in the upcoming weeks. Palace, they've obviously lost to them earlier this season. They've got Aston Villa, who have started to put a winning streak together. They obviously they just beat Manchester City. Then they've got Real Madrid. That's never an easy game in the Champions League. And then they travel to the Etihad, which hopefully that game isn't a draw, so that they'll do us a favour. But yeah, to be fair, like you could easily see 4 losses in that next run of games. And it's not even crazy to even say that because they need to make up ground somehow because they yeah, honestly, they are fucked. yeah, they're finished honestly, and I can't like I said, I can't see how it's getting better either. Um, but yeah, we're gonna move on to Chelsea because they lost at home to Sunderland, and the Sunderland are fourth in the table, and that's how you can tell this Premier League is wide open. And we're at the moment we're not running away with it, but we are capitalising, and the fact that Sunderland are fourth, they've got 3 wins in their last 5. They've just gone to Stamford Bridge and won. I've watched the extended highlights of this game. I've seen quite a lot of uproar when it comes to Chelsea's attack because I saw the goals and I think straight away we got to look at that goal that they conceded in the last minute. What the fuck was Chalobah doing? And this guy has been shocking this season. Let's not get it twisted at all. And I think Chelsea fans are finally at the breaking point because whenever I've watched Tosin and Chalobah play together, not Tosin, I'm sorry. Yeah, yeah, that's it. Tosin and Chalobah. Is it Tosin that I'm talking about? Yeah, the one they bought from Thingy. Whenever I see them two play together, they don't look good at all. And when you're watching that goal, it's Tosin who holds him off, and then you see Chalobah just standing there. And at that point, you're thinking, right, it's the last minute. Just engage the man because the last thing you want, I'm pretty sure it was a 3-on-3 at that point. Reece James got back as well. So all Chalobah has to do was just close off any other angle. Tosin done his bit. Chalobah just stood there, and yeah, that was awful defending from the centre back pairing. And to be fair, Tosin done his job at Chalobah. I think people have finally seen enough of that guy, and a lot of people are complaining about Garnacho as well. Obviously, that they bought him for what, £40 million from Manchester United, and he scored the goal, a decent goal, put it onto his leg. And to be fair, it went straight through the keeper's legs, I'm pretty sure. But apart from that, did nothing really. From all the footage that I've seen, he was just not good at all. That is pretty much what Garnacho does. He does nothing all game, but if he does ever get a goal, which is very, very, very unlikely, he won't do anything. And Chelsea, they just not got quality in their attack at all. They've got João Pedro, who I like. Esteban was looking decent. Cole Palmer's obviously Cole Palmer. But I don't see how this team are in a title race. And they're saying that they are. Well, if they're in a title race, then so are Manchester United, so are Sunderland, so are Bournemouth, so are Aston Villa. Liverpool is still in it. Because I never saw from the start of the season how these lot were going to be in a title race. I thought they'd maybe be in there or thereabouts until Christmas, but the way they're moving now at the minute, they are not it at all. And defensively, there's too many gaps outside of their main sort of players. They got no quality in attack. Their midfield, don't get it twisted, their midfield is quality. However, they've not got the squad, and in my opinion, they're not got the manager to win the league either. He has got way too much of a temperament for my kind. And people are going to say, yeah, he won the Club World Cup and the Conference League. Fair play to him. I do not see how over a 38-game spell, how he hasn't got the consistency to actually be winning these titles. I just don't see it at all. But yeah, that's it from Chelsea, really. I didn't really watch the Man City game. To be fair, I didn't really see much football this weekend. I was out at a wedding, so I could only catch a handful of games. But like I said, it was a good weekend for Arsenal. I've just looked now. There isn't any press conference from Mikel in terms of the Carabao Cup game, so that will most likely be tomorrow. If I can find it now, I can have a look. I might as well do the preview now. He's on a post Crystal Palace one. There is an article. Yeah, there isn't really any. No, there isn't really any anything regarding the Brighton game. So I think that will come out tomorrow, or they might even be doing a press conference now. Um, I'm not sure, but I've got to wait and see. There will definitely be a there definitely will be a Brighton preview tomorrow, press conference reaction, all that other stuff. Hopefully, we don't throw the cups away. I'm pretty sure a couple of years ago we did throw it away in this fixture, ironically. But yeah, I'm going to end it here. Make sure you guys are like, sub, and sharing the content around. And I'll see you lot for the Brighton preview tomorrow, where we enter Carabao Cup action again. And hopefully, fingers crossed, we actually go far in the cups this year, because this guy is under pressure and he needs to win trophies, full stop. But yeah, that is it from me. I'll see you lot in a bit.